Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the Application Tracking System or ATS. So as we all know, the resume that we submit in many of the top companies like Google, Microsoft, Netflix doesn't go into the hands of the recruiter on the first go. It has to go through an application tracking system or ATS reviewer before it gets shortlisted and goes into the hands of a human recruiter. And we must be knowing the process that this ATS is following so as to shortlist our resume. Most of the top companies, they use tools like Talio, Greenhouse, Workday so as to shortlist your resumes. So all these tools, they have a common process that they follow, right? There are a few steps that they have. The first step that any ATS does is it breaks down your resume into chunks, like your name, your contact info, then your work experience, skills, projects. So these are definite chunks that they form in your resume. So it is your responsibility so as to make these sections definite and explicitly define them. Give headers. Do not keep a vague format or an ambiguous, weird kind of a format, like you are keeping a multi-column format for a work experience, or you're keeping the contact info in your headers. That won't work, because if your ATS cannot parse it, they will simply skip that section, and that might be important or useful with respect to the job description. So make your resume readable and have some clarity in it. That's the first step. The second step that any ATS will follow is to match the keywords. So they will be comparing the keywords that have been mentioned in your job description with the keywords that are present in your resume. So if the job description says that you should know Java, then your resume should say that yes, you know Java. The job description says that yes, ML is required, machine learning is required, then your resume should have machine learning. So make sure the more the keywords that you are matching with your job description, the better your chances are to move up the pile of resumes. So that's the second step that you should do. The third thing that you need to keep in mind is if there are some qualifications or degrees that are required for you to get the job role. For example, a bachelor's degree. Now, if you are working as a professional in a software company, then it is taken for granted that yes, you have a bachelor's degree, but your ATS doesn't know that. Make sure to mention whatever qualifications and degrees that are required for that job to be present in your resume, right? That's the third thing. Now, after all the rounds of ATS, your resume does get into the hands of a human recruiter. So do not get into the trap of stuffing in action words, stuffing in keywords so that you can fool the ATS, because you won't be able to fool the human recruiter. They will be following a 6-second rule. The maximum time that any recruiter will spend on your resume after the ATS round is 25 seconds. So they will be matching the qualifications, the skills that are required if your work is aligning with the job that they are hiring for. So make sure that your resume content should be meaningful, should be honest, because it is not possible to get recruited if you're not being honest in your resume. So that's the fourth round. So I will quickly be going through some of the do's and don'ts that you should remember for your resume. The first thing that you should be remembering is what I just said. Keep your resume simple, readable, have clarity, and be honest. If you are chunking in a number of action words and keywords just to fool your ATS might get fooled. You might get past it. Most of the time you won't, but you will not be able to get past any human recruiter, and it is very rarely possible that you can get recruited by not being honest. So yeah, be true to yourself. The second thing that you must remember is to use the correct file format. The most commonly accepted format is a PDF format. Never take a screenshot, never take a picture of your resume and upload it, because the ATS scanners are not able to parse picture formats. They are only able to parse PDFs. If it is mentioned that yes, Word doc is allowed, then only upload a Word doc if you really have to, otherwise stick to the PDF format. The third thing that you must remember is, whenever you are listing down stuff, make sure you have it in the reverse chronological order. So if you are working at some place currently, or you have a work experience that you've done the last in your past, that should be at the top of your work experience section. Even in the project section, the project that you've worked in the last few days, that comes at the top of your project section. So always order your work, your experience in the reverse chronological order. The dates that you are mentioning should be in a simple format, like Jan 2025 or Feb 2024. So that is what the ATS expects, that is what the ATS understands, so don't overdo it, right? And some of the things that you should not be using, that is under the don't section: do not use images, graphics, multi-column formats, headshots, because these are stuff that the ATS will not understand, and if it does not understand something, it simply skips it. That might be important for you to get shortlisted. Even using a LinkedIn logo or your Gmail icon, you should skip these things, because ATS won't be able to understand these things. So these are a couple of do's and don'ts that you must remember. Keep it simple, keep it precise. I'll just give you an example of a line that you can use is, I led a team of 6 members to achieve a performance improvement by 40% and so and so. So you are using so many action words, numbers, it's so well defined. You are underlining the impact that you have made in your last experience, the input that you have given to your last company. So it is well defined. Your ATS has a good feedback of you, right? So at the end of the day, remember that your resume will be in the hands of a human only after the ATS screens it, and there are thousands of resumes. It's difficult to get it through the ATS round, so make sure you have a high ATS score before submitting your resume. And if you're liking my content, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Hope you guys have a great day. See you in my next video.